Okay.
I have a topic.
Okay.
All right. So a fan wrote this. I'll keep him anonymous, and he asked for some advice.
Bill.
Sure.
I was hoping I guessed it.
If discussed on the show, please keep username anon. Good way to start.
Shit.
Hey, Woody, longtime fan here. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this issue I'm having at the moment, a relationship problem. You're welcome to discuss this on the show, even PKN. Context. I'm a male, early 20s, in the final year of uni, and living with my girlfriend, who's a year older and has graduated. She's working now, and we've been together for 6 years. To cut a long story short, my sex life is not where I want it to be. It hasn't been for a long time, and I'm afraid it might never change with my girlfriend. My drive is high, hers is low. But for the past year, I'm obsessed with a girl at my university. I find her attractive in a way that gives me butterflies. Lust. This has become a major issue. I've now had panic attacks in public areas just from the stress of it, which causes me to get up and leave my friends because I can't be in the same room as her. I went to a local bar with friends one night, and there she was, in her tight dress and heels. I ended up leaving in a few minutes after seeing her because I couldn't handle it. When I spoke to a therapist about this, he told me that I've manifested all the sexual shortcomings in my relationship in my attraction to this beautiful stranger. The problem isn't going away, so break up, right? The problem there is, in most other ways, my girl is perfect. She's intelligent, competent, funny, caring, beautiful, and an asset to live with. If the sex wasn't a problem, she'd be wife material. Leaving her would feel like losing a limb. But late at night, I wonder if it's what has to be done.
Yeah.
Imagine going to a therapist and then asking us, what are you doing?
Yeah. So I paid $100 an hour, and this guy told me this. What do you fellas think? Well, I'm going to need you to hit me up on PayPal first, my friend. Yeah, look, it sounds like you're a smart guy who's kind of with it, and I think that you should try to you should be happy, right? And you've only got one life, right? And it's only so long. You should be happy throughout as much of it as you can. You shouldn't be at 80% if you think there's a 90% happiness out there. And you got to get rid of this girl, or you really need to have this discussion with her. That's the sharing is caring. You got to talk to her and be like, look, all those nice things that you told Woody about your girl, you should say those things to her. And then you should say, but we're not having nearly enough sex. And that's a deal breaker for me. So
yeah, that's a pretty rational way to think about it. Like especially if you haven't had this conversation, if you were like, I talked to her and she was like, it's not a big deal, I'm not fucking you anymore, then all right, there's a red flag. It's just kind of like if she's reciprocal and she's willing to change or offer up some counterpoints in which you can make it easier to get to the, getting into the bedroom, like maybe that's a win-win. But I don't necessarily don't get into the sunk cost fallacy where you're like, I already put so much of my life 6 years into this woman and she's got so much good stuff. Like if you're in your 20s, you still got like prime time. You're good. You got plenty of time to like go find somebody else if that's your thing, or don't find anybody and just fuck around.
Find a couple of bodies.
Yeah. Mormonism.
Yeah. Maybe you could just add the hot chick to your current relationship. You never know. That might be an option.
I like what you guys have said. My first instinct was like, heck, you have a therapist? You need to do a group session. Like, let's see. I would love to hear her response to this. And
that'd be fun.
See, I don't know. It might be really useful. Like that. That's
Does she know you have a therapist? Like if you're just going to your therapist on the side versus like if you're just like, I need therapy for this, and she didn't know. Otherwise,
he probably went because of the panic attacks.
He probably goes to a therapist sometimes. That's my guess. My guess is he has a therapist as sort of a coach and taps into him or her every so often. So I think that you guys should do a group session and see where she's coming from. It might just be her drive is low and you guys are incompatible in that way. And I do line up with the only live once thing.
She might need some hormones.
I also, right? They just
pump her full of them.
The opposite of castration is give her that.
You can do it online.
The other thing that occurred to me, like there's this cliche, like in the 20s it's for
box.
him, in your 30s it's for both of you, in the 40s it's for her. Like that's like the typical way that these two bell curves of sex drive go. And so there is a chance that if she's in her early 20s that she has not yet spiked. But I don't know if I want to roll the dice on the hope that she's gonna.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Yeah.
You know what the thing is? You said they've been dating for what, 6 years now?
Yes.
Are you probably got really comfortable with each other. If you started out steady fucking like rabbits and now it's kind of dwindled, you just got comfortable and now you guys got to figure out a way to spice it up or make it interesting again for her versus like this is if it was like a 2-year relationship, I'd be like, well, that's just how she is. So we're missing some critical information here.
It is 6 years. And yeah, you're right. For some reason, they have a dead bedroom. And that might be takes two to tango thing. I still like the idea of bringing her into a therapy session.
That's a smart move.
And hearing her side of it. I know I like what you said with the sunk cost fallacy, but she's intelligent, competent, funny, caring, beautiful, an asset to live with. All that stuff. Those are some strong characteristics.
That is, but except for the asset to live with.
I take the.
What does that mean?
I interpreted that